Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode review videos. This is a new episode review. This is not Shenmue. This is going to be talking about the new Halo TV series. I just finished watching both episode 1 and 2. That episode 2 just came out yesterday. And boy, yo, I have to say, man, between the premiere and episode 2, this show definitely, I highly recommend you guys go watch this TV series. It is really that good, really, really good. But we're definitely going to talk about the first episode, and then we're going to talk about the second episode really shortly. It did pick up. It did start slow, but then all of a sudden the action started happening and all that other stuff. So, yo, if you like these kind of videos, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and without further ado, do the intro. All right, so we. I'm gonna start from the first episode. The first episode, I have to say, great premiere, great premiere. How it started. So it started out in the very desert. It was like called something about Magdalene. I forgot what it was actually called. It was like in the desert, but not really that important. Um, and then you get to see these village people. They playing cards, and they were talking about the UNSC and the Spartans, basic. And then pretty much they were talking about the stories that how they pretty much are basically, they don't like them actually. So these guys just don't. These village people, they just don't like the because they're basically rebellion against the UNSC, and they basically transfer forward to a teenage girl whose name is Kwan Ha. She is definitely not relevant to the game. She's just a new supporting character that came onto the TV series. But it is, but she's pretty much like, I guess you could say like she's okay. I mean, I don't didn't really care much about when watching this TV series. I didn't really care much about her, nor they were showing her father, who is the chief of the village. All I was just wondering, like, yo, when are we going to see Master Chief? When are we going to see John Spartan 117? That's That's pretty much all I care about, and I'm pretty sure many viewers and Halo fans who watch the TV series are pretty much saying the same thing when they watch the first episode, that they just really don't care about this teenage Quan Ha girl. All they want to see is Master Chief. And yeah, so basically, Quan Ha basically goes to the force with her friends. I guess they're playing whatever and stuff like that, and then they get attacked by the Covenants. And you see the elites coming in. It was crazy. It just happened out of nowhere. So basically, like, they just started blowing them up into pieces, and their legs was just coming off immediately. I was like, yo, what the hell? And then you get a little glimpse of the elites. I was like, oh snap, that was the Covenants. Oh snap. So then Quan Ha manages to sends a signal and pretty much to alert her hometown that there's danger coming, and she was hauling ass to the damn town. And basically they were trying to get prepared, getting ready, and then the father sees her daughter coming in, and then they speaking in some unknown language that I've never even heard of. Basically they were talking and saying that, is it the UNSC? And she was like, no, it's not the UNSC. And basically they didn't even get a chance to explain to him that it is actually the Covenants, the elites, but they didn't know who they were. They just know them as aliens. So they lock up the door, and then the father sees that the higher floors were actually shooting, going fighting against the elites, but they getting blown the hell up, and then the gate gets blown up, and then pretty much the elites breached the damn town and slaughtered everyone. And I was like, Jesus, you know, dude, they were hauling ass. Like that one scene, one of the elites was shooting, and then you see the on one of the cars coming in, and you see one of the elites just halt the hell out of that car. I was like, damn. And then the father was just like just sitting there stuck because his leg got stuck in the debris of the car of the debris. And while his daughter runs into the house with her friend, and they were hiding. But then sudden, and then there was just what was that one scene that one the elites had the energy swords, and bro, the energy swords look so well done. And but before I go even further, I gotta talk about the elites. Yo, the elites look fantastic, phenomenal. Like, dude, when I first saw the episode, man, when I was watching the episode, I was like, yo, what is this? Like, the graphics look so well defined. Like, I was like, I don't even know if it was live action or CGI, because when you watch like the first few seconds of the first episode in the beginning, you're like, yo, what is this? Is this live action or CGI? You just can't see it. And then find out that it was actually blended live action. It was blended with between live action to CGI. And you know, I called my pops about this, and he was like, yo, this look beautiful. I'm like, yeah, because we now both of us are watching this show. Okay. So and then going back, like the elites just look so well defined. The facial recognition, the energy swords, the way, the motion, it was just so fantastic. But the one thing I was expecting to see was like the grunts, those little midget grunts, and also the hunters. I was really looking forward to seeing the hunters, which probably we will see them in the later future episodes, which I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the hunters look like. Oh my god, the hunters! I remember the hunters in Halo. They were just they just like don't stop chasing after you. So, and then we get to see Hans, and then on top of all, then before I go, when the father thinks of the daughter, father's daughter, Quan Han, she sees her father in danger. She goes up to the ladder and basically tries to save him. But then one of the elites stabbed one of the rebel fighters and pretty much opened the door. And then while he was slaughtering the entire hut of people, and the father is actually watching this because he thought that he lost his daughter that day. And that's when he pulls out with all his might, picks up that assault rifle and starts shooting at the elite. The elite the elites got shields on. So that was the craziest thing. You see the elites got shields on. And then, you know, as the elite was about to go kill the father, you see the ship where the Spartans are at. And that's when you see Master Chief Spartan John 117. He drops down and he just like boom. I was like, yo, Master Chief. Now this is when the show gets really good. That's when everything got good. I was like, to see the bum on what happened. But dude, when I first saw Master Chief, he got the assault in the back, and then he looks at the elite and he starts hauling ass. I was like, yo, yo, and then he starts slaughtering that elite and just like boom. And then you see two elites coming at him. He just like ducking, dodging, boom, 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 boom. I was like, yo. And then you see other Spartans, like you start to see all his other Spartan comrades, Vanek and I forgot the other two guys' names. But you see them in Halo Infinite. Yeah, because there's other Spartans. Because, you know, when you play Part 1, Part 2, you think it's just Master Chief who is that one Spartan. But there are many other Spartans. But we pretty much already know that. We all play Halo. But, dude, it was so amazing. The fight scene against the Spartans, against the elites, the Covenants. Oh, my God. It was so beautifully made. You see headshots. You see them put. They were like triple tapping in the head shots, like ba 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 ba. I was like, what? Taking out the shields. Oh, and the most amazing part was when when you get to see Master Chief's first point of view. When you see the shield, like where I have the screen, the gameplay right now of Halo Infinite right now. You see the shield and you see all the diagnostics. You see everything from his point of view. And then on top of all, when you actually see him shooting, and then the elites are shooting back at him because he was trying to save his other fellow Spartan comrades, and then they start shooting at Chief, and the shield was going. You start to see the shield going down, and he ducks, and you hear the sound effect. He's like, duh, 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 and then you hear the shield recharges. Like, ooh. I was like, yo, they did it. I was like, it was so sick. It was so sick, man. And then I figured that I was gonna see Cortana, but Cortana does not come yet, which is kind of I was like, where's Cortana? Until I find out later on in the episode, she has not been made yet. Hosley, which we're going to talk about her, she's creating Cortana, which means that this is the prequel to Halo, the first Halo, Combat Evolved. This was actually the very beginning, before Cortana even existed. So I was like, whoa, okay, so this is the very beginning. So after the Chief and his fellow Spartan comrades slaughtered all the elites, they're walking away, and Quan Han, she was the only one alive, which, by the way, she witnessed her father's death. Damn elite just pretty much stabbed him with the whole energy sword, and dude, the energy sword looks so sick, man. So it stabs him right in the chest, and she witnessed the whole thing. And pretty much they thought that all the citizens are dead, but they found out that Quan Han is still alive, and they just walked away and just left her there, basically. And she's like begging, like, don't leave me here, and but she's still standing there, because she's just lost her father. They go into this cave. They're trying to find where the Covenants have inhabited, and they found their ship, which is the Ghost. No, not the Ghost, the Phantom. The Ghost is the no, that's the Banshee. So yeah, it's the Phantom. Ghost is the motorcycle, hybrid motorcycle. My bad. And then they saw the Phantom, and then I think the ship thing was called Banshee. I'm still trying to remember the names, but the Banshee ship. But they found the Phantom, where the Covenants have been inhabited with, and they see a cave, and they go inside, and then they find this artifact, which tries to prove that the Covenants are looking for it. They're looking for this art. They are looking for this specific artifact. And then when and they witness, and then one of the elites actually witnessed Chief and one of the Spartan comrades getting ready to shoot at Chief. But as soon as Chief about to grab this artifact, the artifact starts glowing, and then John is starting to see memories of his past, which was and he was like kind of finding it kind of strange. So they realized that the elite was watching them, and then pretty much was shooting. And then they started chasing after this damn elite, and then he goes camouflage, and then he started hauling ass, and he just knocked Quan Han out cold because she was following them. And then pretty much Chief tells them to go. I'll take the girl back, and then you go live them. And then they pretty much like question Chief's orders, because that's not procedure, but he doesn't care. Just like follow orders, do what you need to do. Boom, boom, boom. So he takes Quan Ha to the ship, and then and then they switch it over to Hosley, and she witnessed that what Chief has found. And I was like, really? You see Hosley, and then you see and then Quan Han pretty much wakes up, because Hosley was still reviewing the video from what John saw, and she was amazed by it. And then you got this general who she is kind of pretty much, I know she's going to be pretty much being an asshole throughout the whole series. Already don't like her already. So But yeah, so Kwan Han wakes up and then she speaks to this chick who's a I guess she's part of the UN. Yeah, she's definitely one part of the UNSC, and pretty much asks Kwan Han like, you could join forces with us so we could fight against the Covenant. We have the same enemy. But Kwan Han pretty much tells her to just shove it up yourself, because my father never stood against y'all. So why would I join forces with you? And John pretty much you know he's so infatuated with the artifact because what has shown him, because he is like, okay, what is this? And he's like trying to figure out what is going on, because it looks like John is like doesn't have much of a personality, which is good. But which, by the way, the actor who played as John, very phenomenal actor. What I the only downfall, I was expecting the same voiceover as the other from the Chiefs from the video games. I mean, not to say that the actor played very well as Master Chief. He did. He played it very well, Master Chief. It's just that I was expecting the same voiceover who played Chief in the games, which will be pretty awesome if we heard his voiceovers. Like, because everybody's every Halo fan would be like, "Oh snap, it's Chief, it's Chief," you know. Because I've seen some comments that a lot of people would say that he didn't sound like Chief. He doesn't sound like Chief. That's not Chief. Even though it's Chief that's basically seeing right now. But yeah, so we pretty much goes over, and they come to and then find out the girl that was talking to Kwan Han, that the girl who's trying to recruit her, is actually the daughter of this captain, and also Hansley's daughter, Dr. Hans Halsey, and which I mean, I've never beaten part 3 of Halo, which I pretty much only beat part 1 and part 2, but then all of a sudden, Halo started to kind of, I would say kind of have fallen off, but not necessarily, because there are still some Halo players that are still playing Halo. But for me, I kind of stopped playing Halo after part 2, and I tried to play in part 3, and for some reason I pretty much stopped. I guess I wanted to play something else, whatever. But anyways, yeah. So we found out that that's Halsey's daughter, and she is you see a clone of herself, which most likely will be Cortana, and which at first you don't think so, but then part 2 and episode 2, which we'll get to as well, you find out that it is pretty much Cortana. And so yeah, so after that, after the whole debate with Kwan Han and that chick, they basically want to eliminate Kwan Han, and they send the mission to Chief, when they were basically her and Kwan Han were talking, and Kwan Han was basically explaining that, I know who you are, I've seen you before, you killed my mother. And basically, Chief was on a mission, and I guess she was the target, so they pretty much had to eliminate her, and they thinking that she's a threat. And basically, Kwan Ha basically asks them that, don't you ever ask questions about the missions you take on? You just follow through. And then that's when he got the mission to actually eliminate Kwan Ha, because they see her that she knows too much, and she will be an immediate threat to the image to the UNSC, because basically that she knows some truth about the UNSC, that they're pretty much corrupt, basically. So the story basically is coming off, because and me and my father was talking about this, that both the Covenant and the UNSC are both villains, basically, and Chief is just stuck in the middle of it, because he's basically a killing machine for them, and but they painted him as the image, as a weapon of hope for humanity. So basically, Chief declines. He pretty much does not want to kill Kwan Ha, because he knows that for some reason he has felt some type of human emotion, and he knows it's wrong, basically based off the images he's having. And you find out when he told Hosley about the visions he was having when he was touching the artifact, and when he described it in detail, she already knew immediately that he's having visions about his parents and his pet dog. And for Pyramid, they do not like that. They do not like that because that will kind of mess up their morale, and they mess up their mission on what they're trying to do, because they try to keep John as a killing machine, a mindless killing machine. So yeah, so this is basically, I can see that this is actually a prequel to Halo 1, because if you play the games, Chief basically does whatever the hell he wants. He's still with the UNSC, and he has Cortana, but he still has a mind of his own. But this one, in the TV series, you can see that he's basically like been brainwashed. And you actually see this in they start going back in his past when he had his friend named Soren, which you'll pretty much we'll get to that. So which that was just crazy. It definitely fully confirmed that this is actually the prequel to the first one. So yeah, after that, Chief denies trying to kill Quan Ha, and Quan Ha threatens to shoot him because at one point they passed out because the UNSC definitely took out they were decreasing the oxygen, and both of them passed out. And Chief actually saw what was going on, and he's basically was trying to find a way out. But the UNSC basically had control over that ship. And as they woke up, Quan Ha didn't trust Chief, and basically Chief gained her trust, saying, tell her that gun is useless against this titanium armor that I'm wearing off. He took off the helmet. That's when we see his face for the first time. And basically, if you want to kill me, you're gonna have to aim up here. And then that's when the captain, one of the supervisors in the UNSC, the old lady who is basically an asshole, total jerk. She basically wants to eliminate Quan Ha, but she has doubts about Spartan 117. Master Chief, and tells him that anyhow he makes a threat, you eliminate. She basically wants Master Chief to be eliminated, which is kind of messed up, So because she don't like that fact that he's actually not following orders and he's actually doing things on his own. So they basically arrive to the Reach headquarters, the UNSC Reach Corps headquarters. And Halsey sets up a mission for other 3 Spartans, the same Spartans that we saw in the fight between them. And they basically said that, hey, you do whatever you want, but make sure Master Chief is still alive, And they're basically giving an order to eliminate anyone who tries to threaten Master Chief's life. So basically, as they getting ready to breach the ship, Chief basically. They were stuck because they shut down the UNSC, shut down the ship, pretty much powered down like an EMP. And basically Chief touches the artifact again, and then starts having visions, and then everything just exploded. Everyone's power was out completely, and then the ship, and then the artifact powered up the ship, and then you start hearing the Halo theme song though. I was like, oh snap. And then they just drove off, and they just flew off. And then the other Spartans, they were like, they didn't know what was going on. They're trying to figure out why Chief is actually doing this, what's going on. So they try to figure that out. And Halsey, she's just smiling because she can't believe what she's actually seeing. This is just amazing. It's like something that she's never seen before. And then that's pretty much how the episode ends. Chief and Quan Ha pretty much goes to they just pretty much escape from the UNSC and basically have like some sort of bounty. But yeah, I'll give this episode definitely a 9 out of 10. I mean, well, basically, close to a 9 out of 10. Yeah, definitely 9 out of 10. Very good episode. Very good first episode. The only downfall they had on me with this first episode is definitely the girl Quan Ha, because to be honest, no one really cares about Quan Ha. It's all about Chief. At the end of the day, well, that's all we focus on. We all focused on Master Chief because that's the only reason why we're watching Halo is because of Master Chief. No one cares about some teenage girl on a revenge path trying to avenge her father's death and stuff like that. We don't really care about that. Oh, which by the way, the Covenant, we get to see the Covenant's headquarters, and they explain about the ring, which we know, which is pretty much the Halo. And there's this woman who who's joined forces with the Covenant, and they explain about the artifact that Chief has found and they want to recover it. So it's sort of weapon, which we're gonna get into more on that in this episode 2, which we are going right now, which we're gonna talk about episode 2. So yeah, the first episode, 9 out of 10, phenomenal premiere, definitely caught my eye. I was really interested. So episode 2 starts out with start this. I think it started. Damn, I just saw it. I because so much was going on. I remember, but anyways, I'm gonna get to it. Episode 2 got to the point where it showed a little bit of John's past. Um, and you start to and he wakes up from his military cabin, and he picks up an assault rifle, sneaks out. I'm thinking that he's running away, but you see another Spartan who is his best friend, Soren. And then basically saying he wants to escape. He doesn't now. He sees the UNSC is trying to control them, brainwash them, turn it into weapons, and it cost him his arm basically. And John, at one point was like, you're gonna have to come back in, or else I'll alarm everybody. And it was kind of like, damn, what's going on? But Soren doesn't seem to be bothered by it because he kind of like pities John because he sees that he's been completely brainwashed. He does not see what Hosley and the UNSC are trying to do in the Spartan program, that they're trying to control them. So he can't really blame John for acting this way because like the way the treatments have done, they pretty much they were kids. So how would they know they were kids? But John pretty much cares about Soren. He basically gives him 5 minutes to leave, or else he'll sound the alarm and pretty much just pretty much have him escape. But John felt some type of way because to me, I felt that he kind of feel that Soren has left him behind, but Soren was telling him, "Yo, come with me," and he's like, "No, I'm not going. I don't want to go." And basically, he doesn't want to go with Soren, but he wants Soren to stay, which is kind of like what the hell, man? Because that's basically you see that's basically the only friend he has. So then pretty much they go into that, and then that's when they go back into the present. Master Chief and Quan Ha go into this place to go meet with Soren at this another planet, and that's when we get to see Joaquin Boken, um the actor, Joaquin Boken, that's his name. It was kind of surprising to see him playing in this series, which he's really good actor. It was trying to see him playing as his best friend Soren. And as they arrive, automatically the individuals in that city, they pretty much are feeling. They know who Chief is. He's a Spartan because Spartans are pretty much mindless killing machines, and they don't care about nobody but to fight themselves. You know, so the Spartans are like based off of 300. 300. The Spartans in the back in the Greek era. They were neither good nor evil. They just love to fight. They're like Saiyans from Dragon Ball. So basically in episode 2, he meets up. He basically gets through all those people, and he showing his strength and like, oh snap. And then Soren comes in, kind of see like, yo, it's been a long time seeing you, John. They chop it up, they catch up and stuff like that, and then John finds out that Soren has a family, a wife and a child, which kind of shocked him. Then they pretty much, they get into their little beef. But after a while they start talking about the little. I mean, not necessarily a beef; it's an argument, basically, like a brotherly argument, like because they pretty much argue like brothers. So, um, John meets with Soren to explain to him about this artifact if he knows anything, and pretty much he's pretty much being hunted by the UNSC, so he needs a place for him to just crash and hide out and knock out all the beacons. And Soren tells him that he knows someone who knows about the artifact that John has, and pretty much this guy named Rafe. And when they meet with Rafe, they basically he knows a lot about the artifact basically, and he was telling him the only the blessed ones can activate this artifact. And as Rafe tries to touch it, nothing happens. Soren tries to touch it, nothing happens. And basically, but um when he tells John that who are you up against? Are you an ally for the Covenants, or do you want to fight them? Basically, he said, I'm not allied with the Covenants. I fight against them. He was like, good. Just when he was about to destroy the artifact, John catches the artifact just in case, and then pretty much the artifact lights up again and causes an explosion. The guy just goes hysterical. He just so scared. He's like, "Who are you?" and stuff like that. And then John pretty much tries to tell the guy like, "What is this? What am I? What's going on? Like, what does this mean?" Basically, he was telling him that he basically has to do a Jesus moment. Basically, he has to destroy the artifact and destroy this weapon that the Covenants have planned, and basically kill himself. Basically, just destroy himself. And John didn't like that. He walked out. Pretty much says that he has to go back to UNSC, get other help from the other Spartans, and tell Kwan she has to stay here. She has to stay in that place because like it's not safe for her out there. She wants to go with him, but he can't. He can't bring her along with her, which is understandable. Like they're trying to kill you, sweetheart. Soren pretty much tells John like, look, man, this is what freedom looks like. The whole 9 yards. Pretty much tries to tell John like, you have to have a mind of your own, man. And these people don't care about you. Hosley don't care about you at all. But at this point, Hosley is the only person that John can actually trust. It's like a mother to it. So, very much Soren. He tells Soren like, "Can you promise me to watch over Kwan Ha? Promise me that." And he was like, "Yes, I promise. I'll keep my word." After they had their little argument, which kind of revealed that John did not want Soren to leave the Spartan camp program. He wanted him to stay. Like you was thinking that you're selfish. You have no loyalty to nobody and stuff like that. But he was like, "Yo, I wanted you to come with me." But it was a whole 9 yards. Basically, John's emotions are kind of like all over the place. He doesn't know what he's feeling. Basically, ever since he touched that artifact, he's just been kind of like unstrange and pretty much unhinged. He doesn't know what's right. He does not know what's wrong. He's just confused, especially from with the visions he's having about his parents. So yeah, so basically, he leaves the place and then goes back to the UNSC. They pretty much put him in handcuffs, and he basically explains to Hosley, and Hosley, which by the way, Hosley and the other crew members, other UNSC people, and the chiefs and lieutenants, they all have a meeting basically to see what they're going to do with Master Chief, because he's not the wet killing machine that he's supposed to be. They really want to control him. Basically, all they really do want to control him, just to keep him. Do as I say, or we'll just eliminate you. Basically. And so from that point on, John is not aware of this, and you see the other Spartans are trying to find John, and of course they did find him. Of course, so pretty much that's why I was saying that he put him down on handcuffs. And then Halsey explains to the meeting about the Cortana program, and they pretty much tell her that we all right, we go forward the Cortana program, because anything can help that will help us win this war. So John meets up with Hosley, and they basically talked about the artifact and then pretty much what visions he was having. And Hosley, she's basically kind of um she's like really sneaky. you know, she's really trying to keep John under control and keep him, as a mindless puppet, basically. So you can actually see it clearly that she's trying to keep him as a mindless puppet, use him as some type of guinea pig just to, make him into a super soldier, basically. And that's when, you know, at this day forward, they resume back to the Covenant. They were pretty much explaining that they were calling John, they call him the demon, basically. So they were trying to get the artifact back and go forward. Yeah, it was just a lot was going on this episode. But other than that, there was not much to go on. But at the end, they basically the Cortana program is about to start. So I've seen the trailer of episode 3, and we do get to see Cortana, which I cannot wait to see that one next week's new episode. I cannot wait to see that one. That is just amazing to actually see Cortana. It was great to see the other Spartans. Great to see Hosley. Chief looks amazing in this one. Like again, the guy who plays as Chief is completely perfect. He was completely good, really good as Chief. The only downside is just the voice. I'm so used to hearing the voice, the original voiceover of Chief. But hey, it is what it is. And I love the intro. The Halo intro is very beautifully made. But yeah, that's pretty much episode 2 ended at pretty much like a cliffhanger, nothing too serious, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. That was like really really good. I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. Really good episode. Really good episode. Got a little more detail into the story of what's going on with the artifact, which is going to explain more, but we know a little bit more now that pretty much a weapon is being made by the Covenant, and they need that artifact in order to power it up, and it's up for Master Chief and the other Spartans to actually take them on. You know, but yeah, this TV series really good. This is only the first 2 episodes. There's only 2 episodes. This first episode and the second episode, so we have not seen anything major yet. But so far, we kind of understand where this series is going. You know, we definitely understand. I definitely understand. I think from I'm not. It's not confirmed yet, but to me, when me and my father were talking, me and my pops were talking, we believe that this is the very first. Well, obviously, this is the first. This is the prequel to all the other Halos because Cortana hasn't even been made yet, and she's just now being made, and we're going to see her in episode 3 when they're actually testing it out. Because Cortana is supposed to be the one that makes Chief the Spartans more smarter, stronger, faster, all the whole 9 yards, and their judgment even better, more involved. So that's typically going to be something very interesting to see, you know. So yeah, this is a really good series, guys. I really, really, hands down recommend y'all go see it for yourselves. Which, if y'all have not seen it, I pretty much already spoiled it. Spoiled both episodes 1 and 2. So, if y'all have not seen it, go see it. But there's people who have not seen the series, but they go and see the episode reviews just to get their take on it and spoil it for themselves, and then they go back to see it. I know those type of people. My brother's that way. He goes spoils the whole movie and the TV series for himself, and then he goes watches it, which is like, what the hell, But hey, that's pretty much it, you guys. This Halo TV series really really good, very very phenomenally made. Highly recommended. You can watch them on Paramount Plus. That's when they have the episodes. I thought people told me that you can see it on Netflix, but I did not see it on Netflix at all. I think you could also see it in Showtime because they were showing Showtime on there as well. But mainly, you could watch it on Paramount Plus. That's where you mainly see it. I'm not sure if you can see it on Showtime, even though they said Showtime on the credits and stuff like that. But Paramount Plus is where you go watch it. Very highly recommend you go see it, guys. If you definitely are a Halo fan, if you love Halo, you'll love this TV series. It's really good, really really good. But yeah, that's it for this video, you guys. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and tell me what do y'all think about the Halo episode 1 and 2? Put down in the comments below. What do y'all think about the series? Do y'all like it? Did y'all not like it? What was your take on it? What's your opinions? What were the things that they left out? What they could do better on the newer episodes? And let's have a conversation, man. Let's all talk about this. All right. I'll see y'all on the next episode. All right. Take it easy. Peace.